In the quaint coastal town of Willowbrick, where the sea whispered secrets to the cliffs and the air carried the tang of salt and wild roses, lived Isabella Thorne. At 24, she was a vision of quiet defiance, raven hair tumbling like midnight waves over her shoulders, eyes the shade of stormy seas, and a spirit as untamed as the gales that battered the harbor. Isabella had inherited her mother's artistic soul, sketching dreams in charcoal while tending the family bookstore, a dusty haven of forgotten tales. But her father, Reginald Thorne, a stern widower weathered by years of failed ventures, saw only burdens in her fire. "Art won't pay the debts, girl," he'd grumble, his voice a gravelly echo of lost fortunes. Desperate to secure her future, and his own pride, Reginald arranged a marriage to a man he deemed solid as an anchor, Jasper Hale, the local mechanic whose calloused hands fixed the town's battered engines with unerring precision. Jasper was an enigma wrapped in grease-stained overalls. At 28, he moved through Willowbrick like a shadow, tall and broad-shouldered, with tousled chestnut hair that caught the sun like burnished copper, and hazel eyes that held the depth of ancient forests. His smile was rare, a fleeting curve that hinted at hidden tempests, and his words were sparse, doled out like precious oil. The townsfolk pitied Isabella, married to a grease monkey. Poor lass, trading dreams for wrenches. Reginald patted her hand on the eve of the wedding, his grip ironclad. "He's honest work, Bella. Better than starving artists or empty promises." She nodded, throat tight, the weight of duty pressing like an anchor chain. In her heart, she mourned the life unlived, the galleries of Paris, the canvases splashed with passion, but love, she told herself, was a luxury for the free. The ceremony was simple, under a canopy of blooming jasmine in the old lighthouse chapel, the seas roar a somber chorus. Jasper's vow was steady, his voice a low rumble, "I promise to cherish you, Isabella, in every storm and calm." She echoed the words, her fingers trembling in his, feeling the faint scar from a long-ago engine mishap. That night, in their modest cottage overlooking the dunes, gifted by Reginald as a dowry of sorts, Isabella unpacked her sketches, the walls echoing with unspoken fears. Jasper watched from the doorway, his silhouette framed by moonlight, saying nothing. "Will you regret this?" she whispered as they lay in the narrow bed, the waves crashing like unanswered questions. He turned to her, his hand gentle on her cheek. "Regret is for those who chase illusions. I see you, Bella. That's enough." Weeks blurred into a rhythm of salt-kissed mornings and engine hums. Jasper rose before dawn, vanishing to his garage, a ramshackle haven of tools and tires, while Isabella dusted shelves and painted in stolen hours, her brushes tracing the curve of his jaw in secret portraits. He returned evenings with oil under his nails and stories in his eyes, tales of salvaged ships from his boyhood on the docks, of a mother lost to the sea who taught him to mend what was broken. Slowly, the chasm between them narrowed. He fixed her bicycle with a grin, surprising her with wildflowers tucked into the basket. She mended his shirts, stitching stories into the seams, whispers of far-off lands from the bookstore's pages. In quiet moments, by the hearth where the fire danced like fireflies, Jasper would trace her sketches, his touch reverent. "You're a storm on paper," he'd murmur, and she'd blush, feeling seen for the first time. Yet shadows lingered. Reginald's debts mounted. Creditors circled like gulls. One rain-lashed afternoon, a letter arrived, eviction notices for the bookstore, the final blow. Isabella crumpled it, tears blurring the ink, and fled to the garage, where Jasper labored over a rusted truck. "It's over," she sobbed, collapsing against a workbench. "Father's schemes have ruined us." Jasper wiped his hands, pulling her into his arms, the scent of metal and rain enveloping her. "Not ruined, love, redirected." That night, as thunder rattled the windows, he revealed his truth, not in grand proclamation, but in the soft unraveling of a guarded heart. Jasper Hale was no mere mechanic. Born to privilege in the shadowed halls of a London estate, he had inherited a fortune from a reclusive uncle, a shipping magnate whose empire spanned oceans. Millions in trusts, properties from Cape Town to Copenhagen, all veiled behind a life of deliberate obscurity. I fled it all at 18, he confessed, the firelight carving hollows in his face. The money twisted my family. Betrayals, greed like a cancer. I wanted honest sweat, not silver spoons. So I came here, to Willowbrick, and built my hands into my fortune. His eyes, stormy now, locked on hers. I never told your father. He sought a match for stability. I sought a soul who saw beyond the shine. When I met you, sketching by the pier, I knew, you weren't chasing gold. You were chasing light. Isabella's world tilted, the pieces slotting into place, the unexplained ease of their cottage, the anonymous donations that kept the bookstore afloat, the way Jasper's gaze held empires unspoken. Betrayal stung first, pawn in her father's game, wed to a phantom. But as dawn broke, painting the room in gold, fury melted into awe. Why hide? She asked, her fingers tracing the lines of his face, memorizing the man anew. Because true wealth isn't in vaults, he replied, his voice a vow renewed. It's in the quiet of your laugh, the fire in your art. You've made me rich beyond measure. With Jasper's hidden legacy unveiled, they didn't flee to opulence. Instead, they forged a path of fierce grace. He liquidated select assets, not for extravagance, but to resurrect the bookstore, transforming it into Thorn and Hale Gallery, a beacon for local artists, walls alive with Isabella's visions and others' dreams. Reginald, humbled by the revelation, sought amends, his pride yielding to gratitude. I gave you chains, he admitted one twilight, as father and daughter walked the dunes. You turned them to wings. Isabella forgave, her heart a canvas repainted with mercy. Years wove onward like tapestry threads. Isabella's paintings graced salons from Willowbrick to the world, each stroke a testament to love's alchemy, turning grease into gold, duty into destiny. Jasper, ever the quiet guardian, stood beside her, his hands now as adept with contracts as carburetors. Their home echoed with laughter, a daughter named Alara, after the sea that birthed their bond, chasing seashells and stories. In the end, Reginald's desperate decree hadn't shackled Isabella, it had unlocked a fortune deeper than millions, the wealth of a heart laid bare, a love that bloomed not in deception, but in the brave unveiling of souls. And in Willowbrick's embrace, where the waves sang of second chances, Isabella Thornhill learned that the greatest inheritances are not hidden in shadows, but kindled in the light of unwavering eyes. Thank you for watching this story till the end. Sparkles, if it touched your heart, please support us. Thumbs up, give it a like. Speech balloon, share your thoughts in the comments. Bell, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Your support helps us create more stories that inspire and make you believe in miracles. Your participation means a lot to us. Heart.